What's going on, guys? This is Travesty here, and today I am bringing you the next week of PPL Season 4. So this week we are facing Daya. If you're not subscribed to her, highly recommend. She does themes for all of her Draft League seasons, and this season's theme is like cooking. She's got a cookbook, and she's doing recipes from those at the end of all her videos, and all of her mons are named after recipes in the book. It's a really, really cool concept, and she's also a fantastic battler, really analytical in her commentary as well. So you'll learn a lot from watching her, so definitely go check her out. Super lovely person as well. Just like one of those people who's good to have in leagues because she just lifts the morale constantly, so definitely go check her out. So we're sitting 2 and 4 at the moment, and she is, I believe, 5 and 1, so she's right at the top of the table, had a really strong performance, and Terra Iron Treads is sitting at the top of the MVP race, a little bit ahead of our Roaring Moon after its big sweep last week. So it's definitely not going to be an easy matchup. We do have some pretty good things into her team, but you'll see the matchup below me here. She has a Terra Toxtricity, which just causes my team problems. I don't have great switch-ins to a Boom Burst outside of Gholdengo, which could get nuked by like Overdrive, and then my other good specially defensive switch-in is a Primarina, which it hits with both of its dual stabs super hard, so I can't even necessarily predict what it's going to go for and go from there. So, with that in mind, the first one I put on the team is this Ursulina. So Ursulina goes really well into her team because her 2 normal resists are both weak to ground, being the Treads and the Tyranitar. So its dual stabs go pretty well. We have Ice Punch just to catch something like the Noivern or the Skymin or Enamorus that little bit harder than we would with Body Slam. Body Slam's obviously its best normal stab, and maybe we get a power on something as well. Drain Punch just for a little bit of recovery. We do take 2 Specs Boom Bursts from a Toxtricity with this investment, and then a little bit of speed just in case she's running speed on like Enamorus, and then the rest just into attack to hit as hard as possible. We are running Guts in case we get switch in on like a Sludge Bomb from the from the Toxtricity and get procced from there. Bulletproof, I didn't think there was anything that we would be really resisting that we wouldn't handle anyway. Like Sludge Bomb from Toxtricity we resist, and that's fine. Also goes really well into that Salazzle and forces it out with an EQ as well. So if we do get toxic or burned by Salazzle, then Guts is going to proc, whereas Bulletproof and Unnerve I didn't see being as useful. Then we have another specially defensive switch-in. Basically we have one half of the team which is bulky Spadef switch-ins, and then the other half of the team which is our offense this week. So other specially defensive mon is Gholdengo. This is my primary answer to the Shaman Sky. You've basically got to bring them on with Covert Cloak into Shaman Sky just so you don't lose to Scarfed Air/Flinches, and that is Gholdengo's job this week. The investment means we take less than half from anything outside of Specs Earth Power, and then we can recover up. Nasty Plot is there because this is the freest switch into Cresselia you've ever seen in your life, because it can't be T-Waved, resists Psychic, resists Moonblast, Ice Beam, all the coverage means it tends to run, so it could be running like Shadow Ball specifically for us, but even then we don't take a lot from Cresselia, and we can Nasty Plot recover up on it. And then Dual Stab because her only ghost resist is that Tyranitar, I believe, and so that will hit pretty hard with Make It Rain. It could run Focus Blast, but I don't like missing moves, so running Make It Rain because with Stab it's almost as powerful as a Focus Blast would be into Tyranitar anyway, and at +2 it does enough. So yeah, we've got a little bit of speed just in case of anything trying to speed creep a min-speed Gholdengo, and we're also running a little bit more than that for an uninvested Cresselia, or like a very minimally invested Cresselia, just so we can outspeed it and handle it that way, and then just Modest to hit that little bit harder. Then we have our AV Primarina, so our AV just to try and surprise something like the Shaman Sky or the Toxtricity that might think it can take us out, and then put us into Torrent range, and we can do a whole bunch of damage from there. Ice Beam should OHKO any Shaman Sky that's not like Yachi or like AV very Spadef invested, and then Dual Stab just goes pretty hard to the rest of the team. Flip Turn for a little bit of momentum if we're calling a switch out on something like the Urshifu. Defense investment means we should take 2 Poison Jabs from Jolly Urshifu as well, because I think it has to run Jolly to outspeed Max Speed Gholdengo, and then the rest just in special attack, a tiny bit of speed for like an uninvested T-Tar, or same kind of thing. I kind of assume people are going to run like 4 or 8 leftover EVs into a bulky mon, so we're speed creeping a T-Tar running that kind of investment, and then we can hit it reasonably hard with either our dual stabs if it's not like AV sand boosted fucking fat as fuck T-Tar, which I love running, to be honest, so it could be that. This thing just handles things like the Noivern a bit better, Enamorus a bit better, gives us another, it's kind of like between these first 3 mons, I'm handling the spectrum of special threats that she can bring, because things like the Ursaluna just handles the Iron Treads relatively well anyway. This thing can handle Urshifu relatively well anyway. Tyranitar is slower than most of my team, so it can't apply a ton of offensive pressure. Like, it can force ASAC, but then I have things to revenge it. So that's kind of the way I'm going about handling her offense, is with these couple of switch-ins, and then we can hopefully pivot into our offensive threats, starting with a choice banded Cinderace, because banded Pyro goes super hard into this team, and I needed something to just like hit Cresselia hard. Same with Enamorus, even if they're like Fizz Def invested, banded Pyro does a lot of damage, and banded U-turn into Crest does like half on a physically defensive Crest. So if we just click U-turn predicting switches, we get good damage into any of the Pyro switch-ins like that Crest or Tyranitar. You could bring Jupiter, but I don't think webs are the most useful here, because a lot of my faster threats don't care about webs, and I could be running Court Change on Cinderace. And then Jupiter is just fodder for Primarina and a bit to Gholdengo as well, so I don't see it being a bring. We are creeping max speed Salathel, because if she decides to run max, often I like creep the creep, if that makes sense, but we weren't really doing anything with the bulk EVs anyway, so like, why not just put it into speed? Zen Headbutt hits the Urshifu and the Salazzle switch in as well, and then low kick for like the T-Tar, a safe middle on the treads, that kind of thing. And then U-turn just for momentum. I was considering running Gunk Shot, but I don't really want to be locked into Gunk Shot just for Enamorus. I'd rather U-turn out and get into something else to pressure it. And her best switch into this would be like a physically defensive Boots Noivern, which I could see coming. But even then, if we like Pyro Ball, get the burn, and the next time we like U-turn out, it doesn't do a ton, and it actually can't run, like, even if it's max HP, it gets 2-hit carried, so it'd have to be the HP and defense invested, which means it wouldn't outspeed us. So after a little bit of chip, we can handle that pretty well. Then we have one of our big setup threats. We're making the debut of Scyther, nicknamed Damocles, after the new Sleep Token song, because that's the theme. And obviously it's about the sword of Damocles dangling over the king's head. And Scyther has swords for arms, so fits pretty well. Running the pretty standard Scyther here, just with specific investments. I believe the defense investment means you take 2 Surging Strikes from Urshifu, and the Spadef investment lets us take like 2 Moonblasts from Modest Max Enamorus, I think. So we've got Trailblaze there, because then at +1 we'll outspeed everything. That's not like Scarf. This is what I meant by creeping the creep investment here, because we did actually want the bulk investment. It was worth saving the EVs. Here we're creeping anything that is speed creeping, max speed Gholdengo. So if she beats that by 1, we'll beat it by 2. We outspeed with Cypher, it's a great time. Trailblaze is there so we can set up that +1 speed, and it's a safe click on something like a low HP T-Tar or the Urshifu, or if we're just predicting a switch on something like a Earth Power Choice Locked Shaman or something like that. And then Dual Wing Beat goes pretty hard into her team, with the only resists being Toxtricity, Treads, and T-Tar. Obviously Close Combat hits the last 2 of those, and Toxtricity does not take a +2 Dual Wing Beat unless it's got a lot of Fizz Def investment, because that thing's pretty frail, and we're pretty strong. So get a little bit of chip on that thing, and Scyther can just go ham into her team with like if we get to +2/+1, it just does so much damage to everything. So and continues to take hits because it violates stupid. So yeah, we'll see if we can get the Scyther train going. And then the other setup mon we have is another Double Dance Thunderous. With Terra, this thing's just fantastic, because Terra Ground Terra Blast just handles her only electric switch-ins. Obviously her grass type is flying as well, so it's neutral to Thunderbolt. And then the Treads, T-Tar, and Toxtricity are the 3 things that can handle our electric step, and the Drillbur, to be fair. But Terra Blast Ground handles all those pretty well. Everything outside of like a Violite, especially defensive Drillbur, gets absolutely shafted by this, and if it is Spadef Drillbur, it can't really hit us super hard back. They have defense investment to take, I believe, 2 banded Aqua Jets from an Urshifu. And then the Spadef investment is just, I think it makes the rolls of like a Sea Flare or something from Shaman Sky more in our favor or something. I can't remember the specifics, so I think it makes us not 2-hit carried by something. And then, or maybe it's just all leftover EVs. And then with that speed, we should be outspeeding everything at +2, even like Scarf Max Shaman Sky. Just in case she decides to, mess around with me predicting speed creeps, etc. So yeah, and the magnet just to boost the power a little bit more. This thing can potentially just win kind of like it could last week. Terra Ground thankfully makes us immune to paras, so we can Terra Ground on a Cresselia expecting a T-Wave or a choice locked Toxtricity as well. So there's a few chances this thing could have to set up. And then we're Prankster so that we can set up an Agility without being flinched by like a Shaman Sky or something like that. So yeah, a couple of cool setup mons to finish up there. The matchup is pretty 50-50, I feel. I have some good answers into her offensive threats, like the Valplume that I didn't bring here actually looks pretty reasonable into like Urshifu, Treads, Enamorus, etc. But it just allows in the Toxtricity for free and potentially can't recover up when there's sand around either super safely. So that's why I didn't bring the Valplume, because I'm expecting there to be pads on the Urshifu specifically for that anyway. Iron Thorns could go reasonably hard into her team, it just can't quite break Cress, even with like loaded Dice Pin Missile. It needs to set up so much to be able to break Cresselia, because that mon is stupid, whereas Scyther can kind of handle it a little bit better, and this thing, if we Terra Ground, can kind of handle it a little bit better as well. But yeah, Crest is a bit of a pain, but hopefully we'll pivot around it with our bulky threats, and then Gholdengo handles it really well. So it's one of those, like, kind of depends a little bit on what she brings, but that Toxtricity is definitely, like, public enemy number one for my team. It just is a real problem, so we'll have to see how we go against that one. So yeah, we're going to the battle now. Okay, we're back here with the battle against Daya. She's told us she's Terra Ground Iron Treads, which is always spooky, scary skeletons. Means it could probably take a hit from Thundy, unfortunately. And Terra Normal Toxtricity. So I'm going to lead with the Prim, because it goes well into everything except Toxtricity. And if Toxtricity leads, then we really die. Or switch. I mean, we do take one, and a Torrent Boosted Surf would do a whole heck of a lot. So good luck, have fun to Daya. Make sure you check her out if I didn't say in the Teambuilder. She makes fantastic content. And she's top of the league right now, so let's see if we can David versus Goliath. Yes, cool, that is the Urshifu. That is what I thought was the most likely lead. So even if you're banded, we live a hit. We live a poison jab, even from band. We EV'd for that. So do I just want to fire off a Moonblast and see what she wants to do into this? I think so. Because if she goes Treads... Treads isn't great. Do I want to predict turn 1? Like, you're not staying in here, right? You're going to T-Tar, probably. That's the middle ground play. I could flip turn. I'll flip. Yeah, so she switches. Expected. Doesn't want to risk anything with this. And there's the Chucky Malt, which is the Treads. Cool. That did quite a lot. Is that crit? No. Did like 25? So that's looking offensive as that would not have taken a surf. I mean, it could be like offensive Assault Vest, which means it would have taken a surf, but Flip Turn does a whole heck of a lot there. So I'm tempted to just go Cinderace here. Thing could be Scarfed, but if it's Scarfed and it takes us out, then we just go into you and set up. So I'm going to go Cinderace, and she doesn't know that we're not Scarfed, right? Now, if you Terra Ground, Pyro Ball might not kill. And low kick's the same damage. So I'm going to U-turn and Scout. He switches out. So probably not Scarfed. Raspberry, it's going to be the Enam. So how well do you take this? 10% if it's offensive. Are you Helmet? Nope, no Helmet. So that looks on the bulkier side. I'm going to go into Gholdengo here, because we don't give a shit about this thing. And we threaten big time with a Make It Rain. So I did about spot on 10 from the U-turn. So it's looking like it's got some bulk investment, but maybe not full Fizz Def. Yeah, it can't be full Fizz Def. Like, low roll on max HP. But yeah, we kill you no matter what, and Mystical Fire is not doing half. So the switching is going to be Urshifu. I'm happy to just take my 50% on an Urshi, I think. And go for Shadow Ball. There's no sense. So she switches out, so we're just getting little bits of chip, but this is where the momentum ends, unless we were eject pack. Ooh, that's going to be the treads. Okay, so you're probably AV. The way you've been playing this is very AV. We do live one. That does so much. That does not AV. That does so much damage. So that's just fully offensive. So we don't have a great switch into this thing. I could go Scyther. Scyther will take anything, just doesn't really want to get knocked. Or I could go Ursa. How much is Ursaluna taking? From, like, Choice Scarf, could be Bandit as well, I guess. I'm gonna go Ursa here. And Scout. So Treads is very low very early, which means she's probably going to save Terra for the Toxtricity. Or Healing Wish on Yam. There's the knock, so I'm glad we didn't go into the thing. So an Ice Punch won't take this out unless it Terras. We live anything. How much did that do? It's like 80. It's knockoff. Body Slam won't kill. It's looking like it's not even max attack invested. So I did 86. So it's probably got some bulk. So I think I am just going to Drain Punch here. Can go into the Enamorous. Goes for EQ. Cool, so we'll get a little bit out of back on this thing. And Treads is down. We've lost our AV though. So not taking hits from anything anymore. No hazards up. She could go Toxtricity or she could go Urshi here. The question is then, do I preserve this thing? I think if she goes Skyman, I still switch into Gholdengo. There's the Urshifu. I don't think it's worth our staying in here. Like, we die to anything. And we do like half. And this thing is still kind of useful. Is it, or do I just let it go down? What are you doing for me? I think I'm going to stay in and Body Slam in case you overpredict. Because honestly, without the AV, we're not switching into Toxtricity. In Amorous we have a Gholdengo for, Skyrim we have a Gholdengo for, and you don't switch into T-Tar if it's running fighting coverage, and we probably don't outspeed. Swords Dance. That's spoopy. Glad we stayed in. Now, do we get the para? We do not, but we bring it down really low. Well, not really low, but low enough. So, +2 Urshifu. That means you're not running U-turn, so you're probably surging CC and P-Jab. Oh, come on, computer. Come on. Let me do my calcs. Shit. Come on, computer. I believe in you. Shit. My Computer is freezing. You could have Drain Punch. What do I have to revenge this? Come on, computer. Come on, fucking load. Okay. I just need to eyeball calc. What do I have to revenge this? I have Thundy. Do we take a +2? We do take a +2 at Jet. For sure. So I'm just going to Body Slam again. There's a saving. It's just going to take us out in one. Far out. I can't calc anything! Come on. Come on, computer. Shit. I'm going to close everything. Close out of Discord. It's lagging so hard. Come on. Shit. Does Prim take the hit? Come on. It's not fucking... I can't load my calcs. This is so frustrating. I think I'm gonna go into you and Trailblaze. But I can't tell if that's gonna kill because I can't load. This is so frustrating. This actually sucks. Like my whole thing's just frozen. I gotta close out. We've got no calcs. We've got no calcs for the rest of this game. Fuck. And the recording's glitching out. Holy shit. I have to just click Trailblaze. I can't. Okay, so Trailblaze can do a good chunk to this. That should put it in range of a CC. Not that I can tell. Come on, computer. So you know Urshifu is SD. Surging. Come on, load! I need to know what these calcs do. Far out. This is the most frustrating, come on, thing to happen for someone like me, because I like having the information. Come on, I need to know. Okay, I'm just gonna click CC. If she's like defensive trouble, maybe she lives. I can't fucking calc! And this recording is probably gonna be so fucking popped. Okay, it does nothing to Enam. Okay, we're slowly... We're getting back there. Okay, so it's looking like offensive-ish Tyranitar. Okay, we're back online. So we know you're pretty bulky. I actually think we just stay in an FD. And maybe go for game with Cypher here. Because a +2 dual wing beat should do a lot to this thing. Earth power, so she was predicting the Gholdengo. And now we're at +2, this should probably kill. You're at like 85. I'm gonna go for it. I forgot we were at -1. It lives. Yeah, my calc is still really slow. Should still take a Moonblast, yeah. And then I think we Trailblaze again. And just chunk through this team. So if she has Jet on Urshi, then she'll revenge, but that's fine. She can't set up. One turn of sand left unless she's sand rocks. So yeah, I'm gonna Trailblaze again. Oh, it's Custap. That's fire. That's fire. Okay, so Enam stops the Scyther sweep. But he's brought super low. And we can revenge with basically anything. So the question is, do I try and set up with Thunderous? Because she's just going to let this thing go. I think, unfortunately, we need a little bit of chip on Shaman, because we need the dual dance, probably. Yeah, we'll need some chip on Shaman. Oh my god, Calc's glitching out again. I can't fucking do this. It's so frustrating. If I go you, what do you bring in afterwards? Yeah, okay, we're just gonna have to raw dog this the rest of this game. So I can't calc shit. I don't think I fuck around with setting up, I think I just Shadow Ball. I'm actually just going to straight up close the calcs, because they're freezing so much it's not even worth having. Dies to gold. In comes the Tyranitar. Man, I wish I knew if Make It Rain could kill from here. Probably can't, because it's a fucking T-Tar. But it's a strong move. This is actually so frustrating. I'm gonna go into the Prim. This gets its rocks up, that's fine. So the rocks are up. She might be going for an Aqua Jet SD endgame here, so we need to not let that happen. Question is, do I flip turn? What do you bring in on Surf though? Like Skyman? This thing will probably take one because it's a T-Tar. But I cannot calc to know for sure. I'm just gonna Surf. Okay, we do that speed. Love me a good speed creep. Doesn't kill. And it just knocks off. Cool. Knocks off my AV. So you can revenge me with Toxtricity, but we're not really taking a hit from Urshi at this point anyway. I don't think you preserve this. Flip turn probably kills. It's super effective. I mean, Moonblast definitely kills. Let's just go for that in case she decides to preserve it. She does not. T-Tar goes down. And then in comes Toxtricity, I assume. There's a Skyman. That's fine. This thing no longer checks the Urshi, so I'm just going to Ice Beam in case she misses a move. There's no point trying to preserve this for a sack. I don't think. I'd rather have Gholdengo nice and healthy. And if she misses, then we just KO this thing, and that's sick. Or if it's like Subseed. If it's Subseed, it can't be Gholdengo. I'm thinking it's got to be Scarf with like Dazzle, Seed Flare, Earth Power. Could also mean she goes for Earth Power, predicting the Gholdengo. Just hits the Seed Flare, that's fine. So Skyman KOs Prim. Man, I wish I could calc right now. Okay, we're gonna go into Gholdengo. I think we do half with the Make It Rain. And if you're not choiced, we should take 2 Earth Powers. As in take 1, be able to recover up. So I'm gonna go for Nasty Plot. Kind of scout out. We should be able to Nasty Plot and then recover spam. I think. Slowly whittle this thing down. Okay, she just goes to Seed Flare. That's specs as. I don't need my calcs to know that that's specs. Sandstorm subsides. I'm just going to recover. She switches out. So we should be able to take any hit from the Urshi. I think. Can't remember though. Surging, I think, is probably a roll. This is so tough. The fucking... I'm gonna Shadow Ball here. Surging... Yeah, that shouldn't do enough. They only did 80 on that one. So you get the kill. I really hope this recording's not super scuffed, but it might be. It dies to Gholdengo. In comes the Swath again. I'm absolutely certain you are choiced. I'm going to recover. Okay, Seed Flare does kill. Does it do 75 to a Cinderace? Let's find out. I'd love to know that kind of information. It'd be really handy if there was a tool that existed on computers that functioned, that could tell you the type of damage that something was doing. Because maybe it's not specs, and I just don't know my calcs. Banded Pyro definitely kills, right? There's no way. And it should kill Tox too, like there's no way. So if it's Scarf Toxtricity, we maybe have an issue. But we'll see. I don't know if Thundy has this in the endgame. If she preserves this, I need 2 Agility. I think it can probably take 1 as well. She probably knows we're banded from the damage, right? She switches out. Can we land a Pyro Ball? There's no way you live a banded Pyro Ball, right? Nope, just dies. Dies to Cinderace. So I don't switch. Ever. We just click Pyro Ball again, hope we live and don't flinch, or if she goes for Earth Power, then we win. Yeah, she's going for the flinch win. Cool. That means Thundy should have this, because we Agility on the first turn. Specs Air Slash might, but we can't not Agility is the thing, because then we might get flinched. So, I think we Agility every time. And we just see, I mean, yeah. See if 2 Air Slashes will kill. That looks like it will. did 117. So we need a Thunderbolt power. Or a miss. Nah. Oh, that's such a roll. That's definitely a roll. Thunderous with the clutchest of low rolls. I'm so sorry. I don't know if you high rolled the first one, because like I said, I can't calc. I thought we didn't have that there, but yeah, who needs calcs when you just have the clutchest Thundy to ever play the game? GG's Daya, that was fire. Yeah. SD Urshifu is spooky as, and Specs Skyman. Every time I've played a Skyman it's been Specs, I'm always like, oh yeah, it'll just be Scarf to try and revenge things, and then I get something dropped to a Specs Seed Flare, I'm like, fuck. So yeah, GG's Daya. Make sure you check out her stuff in the description. Like I said, she makes fantastic content. You would have seen all her nicknames are themed, just like my nicknames are themed. I think it makes you a better player if you theme your Pokemon names. So yeah, GG's. Sorry about the low roll. We'll debrief afterwards, and you'll find out that it was the lowest of low rolls, and I'll feel bad. But we're 3 and 4 now. A little bit of luck on our side, but 3 and 4 is 3 and 4. So yeah. I'll see you guys next week when we face, I believe, Gert for the 3rd time in Gen 9. And both of those games we've played so far, both in very narrow 1-0s. So let's see if we can clutch out another one. And I'll see you guys next week.